audience or engines and amplifiers to a paid YouTube channel that records notifications and stuff. So
we only need the two of us together, 'cause we got love, 'cause we got love. You wanna get to me.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to Spirit Forest. Today is a premiere video, which means if you are watching this video as it premieres, you can chat with me somewhere on YouTube. Now, if you're watching this on a TV, you won't be able to, but if you're watching it like on a cell phone, or you can watch it on your TV and then open it up on your cell phone and you can chat with me. And it's live, which means that you can chat with me as we go out throughout the day, and I'm gonna spend the entire day with you. So I'm gonna make this video a little bit longer so we can have some fun chats. And we're gonna spend a day in the cabin. That has been one of my top requested videos, which surprised me. I actually didn't know that that's what you guys wanted, but I'm gonna give that to you. And you can ask me questions in the chat and I'll answer it through the chat. I don't answer it through the video because the video is actually recorded ahead of time. It's not recorded at the same time it's being posted. So, but I will answer your questions in the chat. I think it's a lot of fun to do it this way, and I can connect with a lot of you that do a lot of comments. So, what do I have in store for today? I am, well, I woke up. I was a little late, to be honest with you, a little late. I haven't made a fire yet, and I ended up turning on my heater. I don't keep the cabin very warm, so it's actually pretty chilly in the cabin right now. I keep it at 55 degrees. I think I might have cheated a little bit and just brought it to 60 because I was literally almost shivering. So I need to make a fire. But the cabin usually, again, I keep it pretty warm. I mean, pretty cold. I keep it pretty cold. And the reason why I do that is because it costs so much to heat this cabin. So I did actually wake up a little later. I usually wake up about 7 o'clock. There's something about me when it hits 7 o'clock, like I'm up. Very rarely do I actually sleep in, you know, so I was up, but I just laid in bed. And I just looked out the window and looked outside, and it just looked so beautiful out there, and the snow was falling, so I decided to stay in bed. So I was a little bit late, so I just made a really quick breakfast. It's time to make a fire to get this room. I can get, the warmest I can get the cabin with the fire going is about 62, 63 degrees. And to me, that's comfortable enough, you know, with a blanket sometimes, it's comfortable enough to keep me warm and be able to work without shivering. It is cold and windy. Gotta get used to talking in front of a camera again. I just got to just be me, you know, that's just the easiest way to do it, is just to be me. Some of you notice things on me when, I don't know, you guys point out stuff. Just want to let you know that I do have a mark over here. I also have another mark on my hand, and I have one on my nose, but you can't really see it that well. They are testing me for skin cancer, so I think everything's fine, but I'll end up knowing in another week or so. skin cancer runs in my family, and so they burnt off some things on my face. They burnt this off, and I feel that I'm just gonna get it. It's just one of those things. Like my dad had it, my grandma had it, my niece has it. She's only 16 years old, and my other grandma had it. So it's one of those things that runs in the family, and I really need to go in and get checked every year and wear sunblock. That's what I really need to do. So I'm just letting you know, because a lot of you end up, if there's anything changed on me, you guys end up knowing that. I also have more gray hair too, just so you know. I'm gonna be 50 this year, you guys. Anyways, we should start this fire because I'm actually very cold. I love this stove. I really do. I absolutely love this stove. I have had no issues with the stove at all. In fact, there's times where I'm just like, it feels like it's just an on button. All I do is set it all up, light a little, light one of these, which I got this from one of my subscribers, Boyd, thank you. I got a whole bunch of these. I just light this up, put a bunch of sticks around it, and I'm done. Like, it's the easiest fire to start. Where my stoves inside my tent, or even my Viking tent, that one is very picky. This one, it's literally like an on switch. So I'm gonna get this all set up and get warm. Okay, I know, I had some wood in here from last night, but I only had a fire last night for just a couple hours, so I'm gonna keep the soot and everything in there. Usually I clean it out, but today I'm not going to do that because I don't think I have that much ash and stuff in here. So again, I can get the cabin to be about 62 degrees with the fire. I think maybe 63 might be the hottest I've ever got it, maybe. So it doesn't really heat up the space as much as I thought it would, because I just know in my little canvas tent, and I'm not talking about the Viking one, but my other one that I have, it's that heats it up to like 80 or 90 degrees. I thought this would do something very similar. It doesn't. If you see, it still hasn't warmed up yet because this fan turns on behind me once it starts warming up a bit more. But I think I can get the stove top, ends up being about 350 degrees, and I do have a fan that blows from the stove. It's like part of the stove. It blows across here. I think that does okay. It's kind of loud, so a lot of times I just turn it off, and I'm okay with 62 degrees, you know. I don't see a huge difference. Yeah, it does get really warm if you're standing right next to the fire or sitting right next to the fire. A lot of times I'm sitting in this chair and working, and I'm right next to the fire. It's kind of nice. But some of you, I'm sure, will ask is like, what is the temperature difference? Because I do have 3 levels in my cabin. And I think I'm just gonna show you right now. Yep, we're just gonna make it like this. So I'm on level 1, that's level 2, and way up there is level 3. And I have a temperature thing on all of them. I'm not sure if you guys saw that on the screenshot, but I do show the different levels. I think the highest level, which is over in the attic area, which I'm also calling Kyla, my daughter's space, that only gets 1 degree warmer than down here. I'm not kidding. I thought for sure that was gonna be like 10 degrees warmer or something like that. I think when it comes to the summertime, and we're gonna test it in the summertime, I think the summertime, that attic area is gonna be really warm. However, in the winter, things keep pretty consistent. So let's say it's 55 down here, it'll be like 56 in the attic. You know, I'm like, how does that make sense? And I don't even have the fans on. When I turn the fans on, everything gets really cold in here. That's what it feels like. It's just windy and cold. I think in the summertime, again, it's going to be a little bit different. So I'll check in with you guys again in the summer, because the heat, the sun is just blaring on that roof, that I think that it really warms the cabin. I've noticed when the sun is out, how much it changes inside the cabin too. And if it's warm outside, I feel the cabin is changing too. So we'll see what it's like in the summer, because this will be my first summer at the cabin. I am going to talk about my monthly expenses on the cabin. And the reason why I'm going to talk about this is I'm just being honest. I have a lot of people coming to me saying, hey, I want to do what you just did. How much did it cost? You know, and of course it depends on the size of the house and what you're doing and the land and where you're at, you know, but I even have people that are in my area that are asking me, you know, what is it that they need to do? How did I do it? I do have a lot of past videos for you to look at, and I welcome you to check those out. I was originally planning on building a 1-bedroom cabin with maybe a loft. If some of you have seen some of my videos, you would have seen that. However, I did go a bit bigger because I was looking at the market and looking for resale value and an investment, because this cabin is an investment. I also want to mention too, some of you are going to say that's not a cabin, that's a house. Whatever you want to call it, I don't really care. I call it a cabin because I have there's a house in the city and there's a cabin in the mountains, so that's what it is. Anyways. I get that a lot. My monthly expenses to keep this cabin going. My biggest one is obviously a mortgage, and that all depends on what you put down on your house. So I'm not going to go over that. But as for the maintenance of it, is my heating. To keep these pipes in the house from not freezing during the winter months right now, it can cost anywhere from $350 to $600 and something, you know. And I think I mentioned it a little bit earlier that it can cost a lot of money to heat this place. I keep the house again at 55 degrees. So if I turn it up, the higher the price is going to be. You know, sometimes I have people come into town and visitors come and they like it really warm. You know, I have a fire going, but that's 62 degrees is not warm enough for them. You know, and so sometimes I will turn up the heat for them. But that gives you an idea of kind of what it costs there. Then I also have internet. Some of you guys know I don't make, like, YouTube is not my full-time job. I do this for fun, you guys. I really do. It pays for some of my software and my music that I use on my videos, but it's really just for fun. My internet, I have 2 different types of internet here. I have Starlink and I also have Viasat. Viasat I had originally. I can possibly do a Zoom call, and that's because in my work I am on conference calls probably about 4 to 6 hours a day. So I have to have really good connection. I can possibly do a Zoom call on Viasat. Sometimes it gets a little blocky. And then Starlink, I'm usually pretty good, but Starlink goes down a lot. It really does. Like all of a sudden, you have no internet, you know. So I'm hurrying up and I'm switching over to Viasat. So I'm going back and forth between the two. It is about $250 to have internet at my property right now, and that's per month. Yeah. Okay, so that's the cost for internet, but that's what pays the bills for me, and that makes it so that I can work here and see the deer, and you know. So is it worth $250? Yes. But I wish it would be cheaper? Yes. As soon as Starlink becomes a bit better, more reliable, I will cancel my Viasat, but Viasat has like a 2-year contract or something like that, so I'm going to have it for 2 years. I am able to turn it off for a couple months and not have to pay for that month, so there are ways in which I can kind of play with it a little bit. I'm just letting you know how I can reduce some of my expenses on my internet. I can also leave the house and go somewhere else, which is what I did when I had a tent, and I can go to like the library or something, and I can work out of the library. That gets it to be really hard to do that because I'm, again, always on conference calls, and it's kind of hard to do that at a library. My next expense is water. Some of you might be kind of confused why I'm paying for water. And I'm going to talk about my water. I have water issues right now. Some of you might wonder why am I paying for my water? It's because I do not have the rights to my water. That's just the way this land is. And in fact, I had rights when I bought the property, but then there was some sort of lawsuit going out in an area, and now I don't have rights. So now I have to pay for water. And water costs me about $30 a month. So I'll give you kind of an idea. And they bill you yearly for your water. Let's see, what other expenses? Oh, electric. I don't use a lot of electricity here, but my electric bill is a little higher than I thought it was going to be. For the last month, my electric bill was $68. That seems to be a bit high when I'm not here 100%. Don't use a lot of electricity here, but that's just what it is. So that gives you, I think that's all the expenses that I can think of, just mostly the utilities for the cabin. So I think it roughs out to I don't know, let's round it to like $700 a month for the cabin expenses. Something like that, just to keep the cabin going, about $700 a month. Again, and then you have mortgage on top of that. So, just being honest, what it costs. I am looking at ways that possibly I can reduce that. Maybe in the winter months, winterizing the cabin, bringing the heat down into the 40s. I think I've been told by everybody, you don't want to turn off your heat 100%. You just really don't want to do that. Yeah, so that might be an idea. Might unplug appliances during times that I know I'm not going to be here for a certain period of time. I thought about that. I keep all the lights off in the house when I'm not here. During the day, the only power that I use is for my computers. So yeah, I don't know. I have to figure out other ways to try to reduce my electric bill. But other than that, you know, it is kind of what I expected. I think in the summer months, it will be a lot cheaper. And if you guys are interested, I'll tell you what it is in the summer months. In the winter months, I expected it to be pretty high. Speaking of power, I should probably get back to work here soon. So I'm going to get back to work, and then during my next break, I will chat with you.
Time criticality on this one is basically, if we don't do this now, what's the impact, right? Is this something that 48 customers need this quarter to renew?
I was lost or I was found, nothing ever in between, shedding tears or extremely happy, got no one to stick around.
So are you chatting with me in the chat? If you made it the premiere, you're able to chat. If you're still in the premiere window, feel free to chat with me right now. It is 2:30. I've been working for a while, lots and lots of meetings. Could not film a lot. I had more meetings got scheduled. This is kind of how my day is. It's just back-to-back meetings and I get worn out. I do, because it's just a lot of thinking and they ask me a lot of questions and I'm constantly having to fire off answers. So it's nice to have these little breaks. And I have a half-hour break before my next meeting. So I thought about we would discuss something new in the cabin. One of them is what is behind me. There you go, it's one of my paintings. And I will do a close-up of that too so you can see it. So I do want the cabin to be very artsy, I guess is maybe the word I'm thinking of. I want to have a lot of art in the house. And I'm going to be doing a lot of my own art. This will be the first time that I'm going to be purchasing art from other people as well. Usually I am always the type of person that's like, oh, I can make that, I can do that on my own. But I think I might want to have some art that's not mine too. But the majority of the art that's in the house is going to be mine or Scott's or Madison's or anyone that I know that does art might be in the house. Now I do keep my house pretty clean and open, a little more, not modern, but my design is not having cluttered walls. So I do see my art changing, you know? So maybe one season it will have the bears and then another season it might have something totally different. So I do see myself changing that a lot. So I did finish that painting and I'm on the process of creating another painting. There you will see it there. I know the lighting isn't perfect. This is actually gonna be a fox in a forest and this one is gonna end up going into my bedroom. Now it's not showing it. It's hard, it's actually really hard to film here because of the lighting. Everything's really great if I'm pointing the camera this way. And then the lighting is perfect. But as soon as I point it towards the windows, lighting's not so good. But I will be working on that. I'm not sure if I'm gonna work on that tonight or not, but we are gonna be doing some painting tonight. So you guys are gonna see that. I am going to, I have some new stuff that I got. Actually, it's Scott's, and he let me bring it up here. And so I need to get it out of my car. So here's my new addition to my little art area. Thank you, Scott, for this. I think it's gonna work out really well. I think we'll both use it. I think I probably use an easel more than him. He paints as well, which is really cool. So we're gonna have a lot of art in here. So I wanna give you an idea of what I am thinking of doing for art. When I built this house, I designed it so I had art walls. So these are 2 art walls to be able to hang art. Might want something 3D on one of those walls. And then above here, I know, again, the lighting's not perfect, but above the doors, I actually want like a Scandinavian design kind of a thing there, like rose mulling or something. I want to be able to have it up there. And then on this wall, I want to have a picture of Norway. So I am actually in the market of looking for a frame. I've been going to places like Goodwill to try to see if I can find some really inexpensive frames. And I just had, I mean, they're still like $50 at Goodwill. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of money. Anyways, looking for a frame. Once I find the right frame, then I'm gonna get a picture to go in there. I wanna have some art on this wall as well. In fact, that's the reason why I had it popping out like this, is because I wanted to put art on this wall. So I'm not sure what's gonna go here. It's kind of pretty long, kind of awkward like. I'm not sure if it's gonna be something that's really like a big horizontal image of a picture, or maybe it'll be another 3D art to go there. I did add a family wall, and so I have all of us on our little family wall. I like that. It just kind of, you know, the boys come here a lot too, and that's Scott's kids. They come here a lot too, and I want them to feel, you know, like they're part of the whole cabin experience too. I'm gonna go upstairs and show you what's new up here. Again, you can see my past cabin video, and you'll see like a full tour of everything. Still using this as a bed. And this is also a bed. I was actually working here yesterday, so that's why it's out right now. But here's my new addition. Look at the TV. I have books in here and such. Some of you may be curious what kind of books that I keep. I'm not one for reading a lot of, I don't know, storybooks. Mine are more like educational books. And they're pretty much all about Colorado and different kinds of plants and trails to hike on. We have some games in here as well. But the TV I got for, I think it was a Christmas gift. It was a very nice gift I got for Christmas. I rarely use it, but the kids, anytime they're here, they're watching movies and stuff, and they really like that. So. But I was thinking of maybe putting art here, and then also another piece of art just going above the couch right here. This I'm thinking of doing 6 owls. Currently right now, that's what I'm thinking. I might change my mind, just letting you know. They're going to do 6 owls. It represents everybody, Scott's kids, my kids, and Scott and I. And then I have another art wall over here. And another one there. You guys, I can be busy for a long time doing art. There has been a couple projects that we've worked on. Well, I would say Scott worked on them. So, because he's got the skill for it, but I do want to show it off. We're not done yet. We're kind of in the process of building it. We find it's very hard to kind of come out here when there's people coming to visit. And, you know, we got a lot of the kids and stuff like that. So we're trying to work on projects while we're entertaining and making sure kids are happy and entertained as well. So it's going to be a labor of love, and it's going to take a while to get built, but we will eventually get it done. But I do want to show you a project that Scott has been working on, and I think he's done an awesome job. Okay, what I want you to do is just kind of look at the railing, see what we did on the railing here. We try to match this railing, so that's the reason why I want you to kind of take a look at it so that you know. I still have this ladder here. This is one of my top things I put on Scott's list to replace out, is this ladder area. So let me get up to the top of the attic area. So this is a project that Scott's been working on. Again, just trying to make it more secure in the attic area. So people don't fall through the hole. We do need to cut out the metal balusters to go in there still. I do have those purchased. We just need to cut them. So we're getting there. We got to stain this as well. Trying to match this stain to the stain over there is going to be almost impossible to do. But I think he's done a really good job of matching how it looks in the rest of the house. When I told him, I said, hey, it doesn't have to be fancy. And he's like, no, it's such a nice house. It should look good too. So he's spending a lot of time on this and I really appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, he's hauling these posts all the way up and down this ladder multiple times. So it was really nice of him to do that. And I wanted to show you guys. I got 5 minutes till my next meeting. That's the way it goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish my work day, and then that way I can give you 100% of my time. I want to show you some issues that I've had as well, so that you guys are up to speed on the issues that I've had with my cabin build. And then we're going to make dinner and possibly paint tonight. I think I might want to just end the night with painting and stuff. Ooh, it got really windy outside. I was going to show you, but now it's not windy again. We're getting these gusts of wind, and like the whole house is like surrounded by snow. It's so cool. That's why I like all these windows, because it feels like I'm outside when I'm inside. You know, it's like nice and toasty here by the fire. It's really nice. Okay, I'm going to get back to my meeting, and then I'll see you in a little bit. I'm finally done with work and I'm tired and it's gonna start getting dark out here soon. So I was thinking that I would talk to you a little bit about the water issue that I'm having. I did film something for Patreon that I'm gonna share on here to give you an idea of what's going on with my water. We're having some issues. Scott and I are down in the crawl space. It's filling up, like you'll see this thing right here. A lot of silt is coming through. So it's like really fine, like sand and stuff that's coming through that. And it's getting to the point where we have no water pressure at all. Like you turn on the water and it's just like kind of dripping out type.
Well, when you run out of water pressure and you have no water,
yeah,
and you're going through a filter a day, that's not normal.
Yeah. And these filters are like $30 each, and they're supposed to last for like 10,000 gallons or 3 months worth, and we're literally going through one a day. See?
These are supposed to be white. Anybody who's familiar with these will know they're white. This is solid clay now. It's like they won't let any water
like
through.
Mud. I don't know if you guys can see that.
You can see on my finger.
Yeah.
It's just mud.
Yeah. So that gives you an idea of what's going on with my well. What we've come to the conclusion is that the walls of the well have collapsed into the water, and then I was sucking that water out, which was basically just mud coming into my tank that I have in the crawl space, and then it, yeah. So I let it settle, and I didn't use water in the cabin for about a month. And today, the water looks like this. Take a look at that. That is what it looks like today. Yep, looking much better, but there's still sediment in there. So like if I let that sit for a while at the bottom of the glass, you see a little bit of dirt. It's more like sand. It's that really fine stuff like sand. And I do need to change out the filter. So the filter right now is not totally clogged yet, so I'm waiting to change it out. I hope to change it in the next week or so. But I will be changing that filter out, and I think just over time, that's just what's going to end up happening, is I'm just going to have to keep continually changing that filter. So there you go. That's what's going on with the well. That has been the major issue in the house, and I would consider that major because not being able to flush toilets and all that kind of stuff is kind of a pain, to say the least. One of the other things in the house that went wrong is, and it's really weird, I don't know how it happened, but if you use certain things, as I'm talking about the electric stuff, if you use certain things, it trips the circuit breaker. So if I use the coffee maker and turn on the light in the bathroom, it trips the circuit maker. If I was using the washer and dryer and then I turned on the bathroom light, it also does the same thing. So I've had the electrician come out here a couple times too to fix that, and honestly I have not tested that yet. I hope it's resolved, but I will be testing that here shortly just to make sure that that is working. But other than that, I really haven't had any issues. Cross my fingers, my septic has not frozen yet. There has been multiple neighbors, and we have this group thing online that we all talk to each other, and multiple neighbors, their septic froze this year. It has been really cold up here, and I'm just really happy, knock on wood, there could be wood somewhere, you know, that my septic line has not frozen yet, and I'm very happy about that. So I'm feeling a little tired. I think I need some food. So let's make some dinner.
Oh, here you are, face to face in this trashy bar. Another glass and I am going places. Makes me laugh about the irony of everything. I like the way you're thinking. I don't really care about the music on the dance floor. I don't really mind all the smoke is in the bathroom. I don't care at all, baby, you got my attention. So you were saying, oh no, I don't see the logic of things. It's quite a lonely world that we're living in. Oh baby, you are something special, I'm sure. Everything makes total sense when you're next to me. Where you wanna go? I am all about adventure times. And assure you, baby.
It is 0 degrees outside right now. Let me just say I'm so happy I'm not camping in that. Then I set myself a limit to be 10 degrees or below. I decided now I'm not camping. Very happy I'm not camping in that. It's cold in here. Whew. Dinner was awesome. It was really good. And I had a little leftovers so I can have lunch tomorrow too. So that was really nice. So I wanted to talk about my table because that is also something new in the cabin. And this video is kind of about everything that's new in the cabin. What do I do when I have a lot of people here? I think the most I've had is 9 or 12 people here. I bought a table. This is the coolest table I have ever purchased, and I recommend it if you have a small space. Now, when I designed this cabin, I was not planning on having a big table because it was just gonna be me and my girls here. But now I have a lot of friends that like to come visit, and you know, we're always making dinner because there is no restaurants near us. So it is very nice to be able to have a table where we're all sitting at and we can play games and then put it away when we're not using it. And that is the cool part about this table, is that it collapses into like pretty much nothing. It's like, I don't know, I probably should have measured it, but let's just say it is 3.5 feet by 2 feet, maybe 2 feet. You know, like it is so wonderful to have this table available if I need to. And all it does, it just has a bunch of, what do you call the leaves that you put in it? And I can seat up to 12 people at this table. Now the issue is I don't have 12 chairs. I have 2 chairs here and that's it. I told myself every time I get another paycheck, I'm just gonna buy another chair. So I will eventually have enough chairs, and I'm gonna do fold-up chairs so I can store them away really easy. But we have used it multiple times, and it's a great table to have for when guests come over. But I wanted to mention it to you guys because I think it is one of my favorite purchases that I've had. I got really cold. It is kind of weird that at night when there's no sun, how cold the cabin can get. Even though the thermostat says it's that same temperature, there's something about the sun being out that it just feels warmer. Yeah, and being by these windows, I'm over in my corner area, little bay window area, it is very cold over here. So I thought that we would have a little chat towards the end of the night here. I don't know if I'm gonna paint because I was planning on painting, but then I realized that I need to go through my paint stuff and I only have so much time to do that. So I think we're gonna go through my paint. And I was thinking while I'm doing that, I can chat with you about a couple things. And if you're on the Premiere, you can chat with me online in real time. You can chat with me. I don't know, I was gonna kind of talk about the cabin, some of my future thoughts of like what I want to do, and sort my paint all at the same time, because I'm a multitasker and that's what I do. But I was thinking that, again, I want to talk a little bit about the cabin, kind of my thoughts on it. You know, I always check in with you guys about like how I'm feeling with it. And, you know, was it worth it? Was it not worth it to build my own cabin? You know, there's times where I'm here for a whole week and I'm like, oh, definitely worth it. But then there's times where I'm not here and then I'm like, I don't know if it was worth it or not. You know what I mean? Like there's just a part of me that's like, it was so much stress and I could have just bought a cabin that was already built and I would have already been able to use it and stuff. So I feel like I'm 3 years behind. That's kind of what it feels like. And you know, my older daughter is graduating high school this year, and so she's going to be off in less than 6 months, and she's going off to college. And You know, she might stay in Colorado, she might go to Oregon, she might go to Arizona. Who knows where she's going, you know? And I feel like I missed some of that time with her being at a cabin and having this experience, you know? And I guess today I feel like I should have just bought a cabin, but it's so nice and I really like it. So I go back and forth a little bit, you know, and maybe Madison will stay in Colorado and she'll come to the cabin and hang out with me. And I don't know. But that's my thought. That's my true feelings towards it, is that I wish that I just bought, because I'd already be in the cabin for 3 years, and I wouldn't still have projects to do. I still have baseboards to put up. I still have sills. I don't know if you noticed there, but there's no sills on the windows or anything like that. So I still have projects I gotta do, and I just don't want to do them. I just want to live here, you know, and it looks really bad not having window sills, you know, but I'm like, oh, maybe it could be done fast in a weekend or something. I don't know. Not too sure, but that's kind of my thought. There was a lot of stress in regards to it, you know, and I wasn't expecting to do it during a pandemic, and you know, it was more money than I thought. And when you buy something, you know, already built, you already know what the cost is. It's already there. It's written down on paper. When you're building something from scratch, you honestly don't know what the cost is going to be. That you can have an estimate, but really it seems to fluctuate a lot unless you're one of those with the track home builders. They can usually keep within their cost, but I think when you're doing like a custom home, you really don't know, you know. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I am regarding my painting stuff. It is a outlet for me to paint. It's kind of like a release in some way, and I like to do it. I do sell to galleries that are in Colorado, and it's mostly little shops, and not so much like the big fancy galleries. It's more of like you want to go into a little gift shops and you see little things from artists inside those gift shops. I think my art does really well in those kind of things, because some of my art is a little bit more storybook kind, you know. I do vary a little bit in my style, only because I get a little bored and I like to try new things, but I do vary a little bit. So I don't know, my plan is to keep painting, and I will try to get in some more little shops and stuff. But honestly, it's after I sold a lot this last year, which I'm really happy. And I think that I'd like to kind of dabble a little bit in a little bit more like working on prints that I could, you know, so that I can offer to you guys a less expensive option to buy my paintings. You know, I have no idea how to do prints. I think I have to figure out how to scan stuff, and I'm not sure if you can like really scan a canvas. So like I'm figuring all this stuff out, you guys. I don't see this as any type of a full-time job. It's a hobby, and I like my hobbies to pay for themselves. So, and I just feel honored by having my art in people's homes. I just do. Like, there's a part, even if it's only in your home for a little bit and then you get rid of it, I don't really care, you know what I mean? But it's like, just to have my art in your home, like, it's such an honor for me. So anyways, I'm gonna try to figure out how to do prints and stuff. I think I'm doing pretty good. I'm probably the happiest I've been in a long time. And it has to do with, I'm in a new relationship. Well, I guess it's not new anymore, but I'm really happy with that. My house is done. Bills are paid, you know. My kids are happy. When my kids are happy, I'm happy. So, yeah, I think life's been good. It's been pretty busy. I have been gone for a bit. I think I told you guys that. And Madison did her singing thing that I told you guys that she was doing in February, let me give you a short clip of her singing opera. She's beautiful. She really is. What I'll do at the end of this video, I'll do the entire clip of her singing and you guys can listen to it. It'll be at the very end of the video. I really hope that she pursues that. It won't be, she told me she doesn't want it to be a full-time job. She talked about doing a YouTube channel where she sings, you know, and I don't know what she's gonna do, to be honest with you. She's all over the place. She's just like me. You know, she's got so many different hobbies. It's just that one she is so good at, and I really hope that she continues. And Kyla has been in a swim meet, so she is actually, she's a bit crazy. She is like determined. I would say she got that from me. I think both my girls got a little parts of me, you know, but my daughter, Kyla, is so determined to be the best swimmer she can be. Now, she's not winning a lot of races and stuff, but that's okay. All she's trying to do is beat her own time, you know, and just be the best that she can be and just keep on improving. She is swimming 6 days a week. Not kidding you. 6 days a week she is swimming, and we have to shuttle her to swim practice because she's not driving yet. So like, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. She also is in a swim meet 2 days a week. So that kept me down in the city because she is swimming down in the city. So I can't always be up here during the time that she is in her swim meets. And then that is very important to me, to be there for her and to support her while she swims. So anyways, I'll give you, just to be fair, I'm gonna give you a little clip of Kyla swimming.
It's a good sign. Looks like this.
There you go. That has been my life for the last 2 months, is watching her swim. And it's actually been really cool too. I mean, I drop her off at swim practice, and lately I've been thinking that I'm gonna start going to a gym because my daughter's exercising, so why can't I exercise, you know? So yeah, I dropped her off at the swim, and then I go to a gym. That's my theory. And I hate gyms, I really do. I just hate them. I want to be outside, you know, but it's like, it's been really wet and icy on the sidewalks, and my hip is starting to hurt. So yeah, welcome to getting older. My hip's starting to hurt when I run, you know, so I was like, I want to do something different, so I'm going to try a different thing. I will let you know later what I'm doing, because I haven't tried it yet. It's actually my first class is Monday, and I'm hoping what it will do is get me in really good shape, so that way, ladies, when we go backpacking, which I have had some ladies reach out to me and want to go backpacking with me, when we go backpacking, your instructor will be in awesome shape. That's my goal for you. So anyways, yeah, so I had a lot going on. I will end up showing you what all my paintings look like. Also, if you don't know, I have an Instagram. I have an Instagram for my like outdoorsy stuff, and I have an Instagram for my art stuff. And I'm like, how do you find which one's which? Instagram for my outdoorsy stuff, Spirit Forest Bear. Instagram for my art stuff, Spirit Forest Art. I know I'm so unique and original, but I also have a Facebook too, Facebook page, but not for my art. I don't put my art stuff on that. And I think that one is also Spirit Forest Bear. Believe it or not, Spirit Force was taken. So I had to use the bear, the Spirit Force bear. If you ever feel like following me on Facebook, you're more than welcome to go there. I don't post often, so that's probably a good thing. I'm not gonna spam your page, you know, or your wall or whatever it's called. You know, I post every once in a while. I'll post some pictures or a short video or something like that. Okay, it's all organized, all ready for me to create. I do want to show you guys this. This is something I just did. Scott and I went on a date, and we went to one of those paint your own pottery place kind of places. It was really cool. I really liked it. It was a lot of fun. They had good music playing, and I painted my own brushes, and he painted me I said it's for me. It's a cookie container too that eventually will make it to the cabin, I hope. I'm standing here staring at this painting like it's gonna paint itself. I think I'm gonna wait and not paint it. One of my thoughts is that maybe the video is too long. Maybe this video is way too long. Also, if I get everything all ready to go and then I paint it, it's already 8:30. It's gonna be, yeah, then I'm only gonna probably paint for like an hour and a half or something, and I'm gonna get tired, and I still have to edit tomorrow's video, which is last week's video, my friendship video. So you guys, I'm gonna say good night, and I hope you like this long video, and I hope to see you next Thursday on next Thursday's video, whatever that might be. Okay, talk to you next Thursday. Bye.
And I'm going to sing O Mio Bambino Sabro from Binge.